Hey guys, welcome to Witch Hunter Tutorials. I know it's been a while since I recorded anything because I went on vacation and then I had to do some stuff with writing. I joined some fic exchanges, so graphics hasn't really been my main thing lately, but I've gotten back on track, and as school is coming, I thought that maybe I should get something out before school ruins me again. So here we are with my the last request for a tutorial I got, which was for this poster that I made for a story that I don't really remember. But anyways, it had OCs in it and yeah, all that jazz. I think it got featured too, so since I couldn't do that, if you can hear the thunder, I'm sorry, but it's like thundering outside. I hope it does not cut off my power. Anyways, so since I didn't want to recreate this poster that I've done before, I made a different one that's pretty similar with the same effects but different pictures and whatnot and title and yeah. So let's jump right into it. First we're going to go to File, New, and this is the standard poster size, I'd say. Well, that's what I learned anyways on, I think it was from InDesign, which is a really good tutorial place. Anyways, this is a standard poster size. Other people make their different sizes and whatnot, but this is usually what I do, unless it's landscape. Anyways, so you want your width to be 500 and your height to be 600, and the background transparent and all this other stuff. And then you're gonna click OK. So now we got a blank canvas, and now we need to get our characters on there. So we're gonna go open our pictures and get out of here and tutorial kit. There we go. So we are going to use a model named Park Hwan Hee, and we're just gonna, well, I mean, we'll just select all of these, I guess. Might as well. Okay. Whoa. Try to keep track of all this. So we're gonna drag the first picture onto the canvas, which will be named Untitled if you don't know how to find it. I think that's what it looked like. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I've been trying to like fix this recording thing forever because Java updated and it was a bitch. Anyways, okay. Back to what we're doing. So you're just going to drag both the pictures on here. And it doesn't really matter where you put them. I'm just going to put them here. And we're going to name this one the bottom layer, which is the picture on the left. We're going to name that Left Hwan Hee, because that's the model's name. And this one is going to be Right Hwan Hee. You can name it whatever you want. I usually don't name mine at all because I'm hardcore. Anyways, we're going to add a layer mask to Right Hwan Hee, and we're going to take the eraser tool and we're just going to erase till we see the other picture of her. So just click and just, you can do whatever you want really. That looks good enough to me. And then we're just going to erase a little bit on under here, so when we put the pictures of the guys, we have room for them. We're also going to put a layer mask on the other picture so we can do the same and make some room. We'll fix it. We can fix it anytime. That's why the layer mask is there. So if you mess up, don't worry about it. You can just fix it later. If you go to the paintbrush tool, you can redo everything. So now we're going to drag on the pictures of the guys, and we're going to do Sungyu first from Infinite, and we're just gonna drag him, and he's gonna go down here, and you can name this Sungyu, and we're going to add a layer mask so we can blend and just erase slightly on the top of his head. And if you look, you can see that the background is bleeding through, so we can just drag him up a little bit. And then take the paintbrush to just erase any places where you can see the checkerboard. And you can just, and if you need to redo her as well, you can just click on that one and use paintbrushes too. Just so that you can't see the background. Because sometimes with the brush it gets a little sloppy. Okay, now we're going to just grab the move tool, that's called, yeah, and we're going to go get L. And the only I don't know why this is there. And the only thing with him is that his picture is really big, so when we drag it, we're gonna have to resize it. And you want to drag him all the way to the top too. So go to, with his layer selected, which we can name L, we're going to go to Edit, Transform, Scale, and hold Shift and drag until he doesn't look like he's bigger than everybody else, which would be weird. Okay, I think that's good. So click check mark, and then we're going to add a layer mask and blend him in. Okay, I think that looks pretty good as for blending wise. If it looks a little messy to you, you can fix it up. But when we add the PSD along with, which is like coloring, along with the texture, usually it'll cover up all the messy stuff and people won't focus on what everything's blended together. But if you want to be a perfectionist, I'm not by any means, but if you are, you can fix it up to how you want. I'm just not going to focus on that. I think it'll look better anyways. So now we're going to add the PSD, which is, I'll just use this one, which is from InDesign, which is another tutorial place. Hold on, oops. Which is another tutorial place from AFF, and it's actually really good. Like, I learned a lot of stuff from there when I was first starting out. So we're going to, since we dragged this from the bar, see, it was originally over here, now we dragged it out, and we're just going to drag the pack of a PSD onto here, and then we can just X this out because we don't. Yes, we do need it. Well, you know what? I'll live without it. Oh, this is a mess, but I don't want to have to go back and recreate this. Okay. So now we got our PSD on there. I'll give you the link to the download for this PSD, and you can download it yourself. That way I'm not going to give you something that somebody made, because I didn't make this. And I just unclicked these because they brightened it too much, and I don't want to make them super white. Like, that's just no. So now we got that, we're going to add the light texture, which is a texture by Carlton, because I use this one like all the time. And we're just going to drag it on there, X it out, and you want to put it underneath the PSD and above all the pictures, because we don't want it black and white, we want this brownish color. And once you got it centered, we're going to change the layer style, I think that's what it's called. I'm not very technical with these. And we're going to change it to screen. That way it gets these pretty light thingies. And if you want to, you can adjust the opacity because it is a little bright. But whatever you want, I'm just going to keep mine like this. And another thing I did on the old poster that I didn't do here because I just didn't feel like it, is for Kai, because he naturally has dark skin, when I put the PSD on there, he turned like really white. So I used curves, and this is a way to recolor an idol if they have really dark skin. You don't want to be really like a dick and make them super pale when they aren't. You can just do a curves layer and just drag it until it's dark enough, and then it looks a little bit better. I was going to do it here, but it messed up for some reason, so I didn't do it. I tried though. But yeah, okay, and moving on, we're going to add the title now, which is going to go above the light texture. So if you just keep that, layer clicked, you'll be good. So we're going to select the text tool and just drag and start to type. Where the title of this is Beloved, because I am uncreative. And the font size is 81, but you don't have to put the 0.01, I just keep that there because I don't know how it got there, but I was lazy to change it. And I don't remember what the color of the text is. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so the color that we're going to use for the title is going to be this color right here, which is this code, and click OK. And this is not the font we're using because that would just look terrible. So the font we're going to use is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it starts with an E. This one. It's pretty. Okay, now we got that. We can click, we can just drag to where we want, though it's going to turn out different, so it doesn't matter where you put it right now. Now we're going to add some effects, because that always makes the title look better. Because it would look kind of plain if you just kept it like this. So we're going to double click, which will bring up the layer style panel. And let me drag it so you can see. Okay, we're going to add a gradient overlay, which I already kept the settings from last time, so if you just want to look, this is the gradient I used. It's reflective, it's aligned, it's 127 degrees, the opacity is 67, and we're going to add a pattern, which I don't know where I got this pattern from, so you can just use whatever pattern you want. And we can click OK. So now that we got that done, we're going to add a warp effect to the title so that it kind of gives it a wavy feeling that kind of goes with the carefree feeling of the poster. That sounded cool. And we're going to go to Edit, Transform, Warp. And then we're going to go up here to the standard settings and we're going to click Flag. It looks a little funky like this. So you're going to take this and drag it until it looks a little bit normal. Not all funky and unreadable. So we're going to click check and it'll redo the text for you. So just drag it until you can you can read it better. There we go. And now we're going to add our credits. So I usually, as I always say, I usually use Orator STD, which comes with Photoshop. Most of the fonts I use, oh, that's the wrong one. Most of the fonts I use don't come with Photoshop just because the fonts Photoshop has are like the standard ones and you don't want to put freaking Comic Sans on your poster. That's not right. That's just an editing no-no. So if you download fonts, you can get more creative that way. Okay, and just drag it to the corner and make it centered so people can see it. And that's it. This poster was pretty simple. So I think if you want to try a blending poster, then I think you should start with this one first because it's pretty standard and it's easier than the ones that involve a lot of different pictures, I'd say. But I guess, I don't know, whatever suits your taste. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you could learn something from it. I'll try to do more videos, but I can't promise anything because of school and because I only have a short amount of time period where I can record these, so we'll see. Thanks!